Today I fucked up by moaning at the barber. I went to get a haircut today at my old trusted barbershop of 17 years now. I trust him so much that sometimes I'd even close my eyes and drift off to sleep while getting a haircut. Boys know that you never betray your barber or tell him that he didn't cut it right. Now, this is where the FU happens. I was tired and just closed my eyes. So there's this scenario sometimes that your head really itches when you're sitting in the seat and you can't scratch it because your hands are basically tied. But sometimes what happens is that the barber combs through that spot and it scratches it so well that the itch goes through. That's exactly what happened, and since I had my eyes closed and it felt so good, I lightly moaned. I didn't open my eyes, but I could feel everybody watching me as they stopped doing the clickety-clack of the scissors. After the haircut was complete, I just paid and left in a hurry. Not sure how I will go back, as my father and brother also get their haircut there. TL, doctor, head was itchy while getting haircut. Barber combed through spot and I moaned cause it felt so good. Did you come? Fortunately, no. Just go back and see if he does it again. And make sure you come for sure this time. If something like that ever happens again, immediately throw context out there and you'll get away with it. Or, thanks man, I had a terrible itch and you just hit it. Definitely this, I probably would have laughed and tried to make light of it. Most people would understand. You might be given a hard time about it for a little while, but just roll with the punches and you're normally a better person for it. Whereas you acting like you did something wrong and just running out will definitely make them think you did wrong lol. As a side note, some of you are disgusting as fuck. Could been worse. You could have been the only one with him in the barbershop and be very gassy and you can smell your own smelly disgusting farts and you think fuck and you both say nothing, but you notice your barber trying to speed up and not smiling and looking disgusted while you try to hold in your laugh but also feel ashamed of yourself. I still have nightmares. Could have been worse. Like if the barber cape was airtight, so that all of those farts would be accumulating underneath, slowly inflating it in front of the horrified barber's eyes. Every one of his moves would be hesitant and executed with the utmost care, because he's terrified to release the trapped gallons of rotten stench. Finally he can't take it anymore and he has to gag, causing him to slip up and poke the bloated fart balloon with his scissors. The foul gas explodes outwards in a fetid shockwave so intense that it knocks everyone off their feet, and they start vomiting uncontrollably. The only comfort comes from the fact that this anguish doesn't last long, because moments later the volatile gas reaches a blow dryer and the heat is enough to ignite the entire barber shop into a flaming fireball of death. Next time get the happy ending. Today I fucked up by kissing my son's finger better. This was actually a few months ago. Also apologies in advance for bad formatting, I'm on mobile. For background, I have a toddler with slight additional needs and at the time was about 7 months pregnant with the new kiddo. During my pregnancy I got quite bad morning sickness on and off throughout the whole thing. I had one afternoon where it was particularly bad, so settled down on the sofa. Toddler was being in absolute pain and I had the bright idea to give him a bag of small chocolates, to distract him while I waited for my stomach to settle, get caught up on Reddit or whatever crap I was reading at the time. My toddler has additional needs and has always been really behind with his speech. His word of the week was sore and he'd spent the majority of the week pointing to his arms, his face, his hands and whatever else saying sore so that if kiss him better. When he reaches his hand over to me and says sore about his finger, I kiss it without thinking about it, then the smell hit me. What I thought was chocolate on his finger was actually shit. My lovely, angelic looking child had had a majorly awful bowel movement, stuck his finger straight in it, and got me to kiss it. I grabbed the closest thing to clean my mouth with, a baby wipe, and scrub at my mouth and get ready to tackle his nappy, but the whole time all I can think is about how human shit has just touched my mouth, which as I'm changing him causes me to heave until I vomit all over the floor, which in turn causes me to wet myself due to heavy heaving in advanced pregnancy. I don't think I've ever felt so gross in my whole life. So yeah, the moral of the story is never trust a child with chocolate hands. Too long didn't read, kissed what I thought was my kid's chocolate covered finger, turned out it was shit, in turn threw up and pissed myself. Think about the cute story you get to tell at his 18th birthday party. That's the only plus part, he's never gonna get to live this one down. When my daughter was about a year old, she had a terrible diaper overflowing gusher of a poop. I heard my wife yell for me, and when I got to my daughter's room my wife handed me the dirty diaper for me to take out to the trash can. I did, and noticed along the way that it was the same color as peanut butter. So when I got back in the kitchen, just as my wife and daughter were coming downstairs, I got a fingerful of peanut butter. As my wife came into the kitchen, she said, "Boy, that was a mess, wasn't it?" I said, "Yeah, looked just like peanut butter," as I made a show of licking it off my finger. Horror passed over my wife's face. I almost fell on the floor laughing. I've never punched my husband, but I can honestly say that I might if he pulled something like this. You poor mama. That sounds horrible. Hope you've had a good shower since the incident. I had a bath and a shower straight after. It's about 5 months on now and I still don't feel clean. At least you now know for certain that you're not into that kind of stuff. That's a good point. Or, rookie mistake. Always inspect sticky brown fingers first. Today I fucked up, because I forgot to close my apartment door, resulting in me getting pulled out of the shower at gunpoint by police. Obligatory, it happened yesterday after work as I got home. I forgot to close the door to my apartment as I got home and immediately began my process of getting in the shower. Since I work in a dirty industry, I'm a welder. My upstairs neighbors have been locking their dog in the storage closet on the balcony of their apartment. Well, today was the day the police investigate the complaints. They have an agreement with the apartment complex that if they see an open door they legally have to investigate. You can guess where this is going. They think the dog is in our apartment and so they knock on my door and get no response, but the door moves as they knock, so they now have to come in and check it out. I have barely started my shower when I hear police yelling at me from my room. They order me out of my shower while I only have a towel to cover myself. After the whole situation is discussed, the officers and I share an awkward laugh and they leave my apartment with me still needing to finish my shower. Too long didn't read. I didn't shut my door and the cops got to scare a naked man in the shower while responding to animal noise complaints. Should have foregone the towel and made the cops deal with your nakedness. What? You ordered me out of my shower, and now I'm out. What? The erection. Can't blame me. I'm just following orders. You know, there's a way to make that erection go away if you don't like it. In hindsight, this is the correct way to exit a shower when ordered by police. They have an agreement with the apartment complex. I assume the police told you that. Yeah, that's what they said when they got done looking in my bathroom to make sure it was clear. They have an agreement with the apartment complex. What? No. U.S. Colorado to be specific. Police are called to a noise complaint for a dog. They walk through an open door of an unrelated apartment with guns drawn. That's legitimately crazy. Surely that agreement with the police doesn't give them the legal right to enter a private residence. Also, why did they have guns out? Don't they need to see a weapon before they take theirs out? Most importantly, who keeps their dog in a closet? That's kinda fucked. Also, why did they have guns out? Don't they need to see a weapon before they take theirs out? They saw the outline of Ops Schlong under the towel and thought he must be packing. What a unit.